Imagine this. You're lying in bed, trying to fall asleep, when you hear a faint scratching sound. It seems to come from inside the walls. Your first thought? Rats. Mice. Maybe. Annoying, but not terrifying. You set a few traps, try to ignore it, and go on with your life. But then, the sounds don't stop. In fact, they get louder, more distinct. Sometimes, it almost sounds like whispering. This isn't just a horror movie plot. This actually happened to a man in France back in 2011. For weeks, he was tormented by these strange noises coming from his apartment walls. He was convinced he had a serious pest problem. The scratching grew more frantic, the thumps more frequent. He started feeling like he was being watched, even when he was completely alone. He'd find things slightly moved, a door ajar that he swore he'd closed. He started to think he was losing his mind. One evening, he was sitting in his living room when he heard a loud crash. A section of his plaster wall had crumbled and collapsed inward. He cautiously approached, peering into the darkness behind the broken wall. What he saw was far more terrifying than any rat. It was a small, hidden crawl space, a secret room he never knew existed. And it was filled with signs of life. Inside this cramped, dark space were hundreds of old, weathered notebooks filled with cramped handwriting. There were piles of photographs, empty food cans, and makeshift bedding. Someone had been living there, living inside his walls, just inches away from where he ate, slept, and lived his life. The police were called immediately. Their investigation revealed something truly chilling. A homeless man had been secretly living inside the apartment for months. He had memorized the tenant's entire schedule. He knew when he left for work, when he came home, what time he went to sleep. The intruder would only come out at night, when the owner was sound asleep, to steal food from the kitchen and use the bathroom before retreating back into his hiding spot before dawn. The notebooks were filled with observations about the tenant's life, his habits, his routines, even the food he liked to eat. It was a detailed, obsessive chronicle of a life he was watching from the shadows. But here's the most unsettling part. By the time the police broke down the rest of the wall to get into the crawl space, the intruder was gone. He had vanished without a trace, leaving behind only the chilling evidence of his secret existence. To this day, he has never been found. No one knows who he was or where he went. The man from the walls simply disappeared, leaving behind a terrifying question. How well do you really know the place you call home? Thanks for watching. If you found this story as chilling as I did, hit that like button and subscribe for more unbelievable true stories. See you next time.